The poor woman in the neighborhood. There was a poor woman in the neighborhood that had a daughter. The poor woman was a native soap maker. Making native soap required empty palm branches and other materials. Each day, the poor woman and her only daughter gathered the materials to make the soap. When the soap was ready, people would come from the neighboring villages to buy some. One day, the poor woman and her daughter prepared soap and waited for buyers, but nobody came. They waited all day into the late evening, but still no one came to buy the soap. Meanwhile, they had no food to eat at home. At some point, the poor woman's little daughter could not bear the hunger anymore. Her cry forced her mother to go to the rich woman in the neighborhood to beg for some food. There was a rich woman in the neighborhood who had 7 daughters. They booed at the poor woman and drove her away from their house. The poor woman went outside the gate with her daughter and began to beg and cry, but the rich woman and her daughters did not even care. Rather, they went out and drove her further away. One of the rich woman's daughter snarled at her, "Do you think we would ever need anything from you?" The poor woman and her little daughter went home without any food. They felt as if they would be hungry forever. As they were approaching their house, they saw somebody standing in the road. At first, they did not recognize the person, but when they got closer, behold, it was the poor woman's sister-in-law. She came to visit and also brought a lot of food with her. The poor woman quickly opened the door, took her in, and told her about their ordeal. Her visitor presented the food she brought for her, and the poor woman quickly cooked. They all ate and slept. Few weeks after this happened, the rich woman got seriously ill. In those days, herbalists were the first point of contact in times of illness. Her children took her to several herbalists, but none of them could help. The situation got so bad that they nearly lost hope. One of her rich friends suggested an expensive herbalist in the nearby village. After his first review, he was convinced that he could heal the woman at a price. The herbalist told them to pay him some money. In addition, he asked them to bring an empty palm branch. At that time, palm branches were very scarce. The only place it could be found was the poor woman's house. Because of what they had done to the poor woman, they were afraid to go to her house and ask for help. Finally, to save their mother's life, they summoned enough courage to go to the poor woman's house. When they got to her house, the poor woman asked for half of the rich woman's wealth before she could give out one empty palm branch for the preparation of the concoction that will cure their mother's ailments. The rich woman's children pleaded for leniency, but the poor woman did not yield. She insisted on her demand. The rich woman's children invited other people in the neighborhood to come and help them beg the poor woman to accept 1/4 of their mother's wealth in exchange for an empty palm branch. They came and pleaded, but the woman refused. She told the people what the rich woman and her daughter did to her. When they had no food to eat, the people sided with the poor woman and blamed the rich woman and her daughter. Meanwhile, the rich woman's sickness became so serious that her daughters had no option than to give the poor woman half of their mother's wealth to save their mother's life. The moral of this story is that we should not take our good fortunes in life for granted. Conditions could change. The needy today could become the rich of tomorrow, and vice versa. When we are blessed, we should share our blessings with those in need.